Sean, can you hear us online?
I can hear you.
Oh, and Emily, it looked like you were speaking, but I didn't hear anything. So let me work on the volume.
I was speaking. Can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay.
Sean, can you try saying something? It looked like you unmuted, but I'm not hearing anything.
How about now?
Yes, now I can hear you. Okay.
All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. The purpose of the Meridian Arts Commission is to develop, advance, and nurture all facets of the arts to enhance the quality of life for Meridian residents and its visitors. Today is August 13th, 2026, and it is about 3:30 p.m. We are going to go ahead and begin by taking roll call attendance for the commissioners. Lizzie Taylor, thank you. Sean Muscalo,
Here?
thank you. Aaron Turner. Here. Crystal Paulson. Patrick O'Leary.
Here.
Bobby Gatton.
Here.
Sayun Song.
Here.
And Jay Smith.
Here.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone's here. We will move to the adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda? Thank you. Lizzie moves. Do I have someone to second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Aaron seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
I
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
No.
Okay, we will move on to the approval of minutes. We need to approve the draft minutes from the July 9th, 2026 Meridian Arts Commission meeting. Do we have a motion to adopt these minutes?
I so move.
Thank you. Jay moves. Do I have someone to second? Thank you. Lizzie seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Passes. Thank you. Okay, moving on to new business. Today, we are fortunate to have a presentation for us. Just so you guys are aware, this is going to be an action item on next month's agenda, but for today, we are going to have a proposal to bring the Shakespeare Theater workshops to the Meridian schools by the Boise Bard Players. So we're excited to have them here to make a presentation to MAC, and we're going to turn the time over to them.
Good afternoon, everybody, here with the Meridian Arts Commission. My name is Tris Berg, and I am the Artistic Director of the Boise Bard Players. This is my business partner.
I'm Sam Murphy, the Managing Director of the Boise Bard Players.
And we are here today to discuss the proposal of bringing our educational outreach program, Shakespeare Live, into Meridian schools for the 2026 and 2027 school year. There we go. Oh, we'll go back there. So about this proposal, the Boise Bard Players, also known as BBP, is proposing to bring the following into Meridian schools for the following school year. We are aiming to bring 8 to 10 in-class hour-long Shakespearean workshops into schools, as well as 1 to 2 week-long Shakespearean camps. These camps will be about an hour every day, culminating at the end of the week into a free public performance by Meridian students at a Meridian park. To achieve this, BBP is requesting $5,000 to fund this project throughout this school year.
You might be asking, who are the Boise Bard Players? Our mission statement is that we are a nonprofit mobile theater company making Shakespeare and other classics affordable and accessible to the Treasure Valley and beyond.
And so what is Shakespeare Live? Shakespeare Live is our educational outreach program that aims to provide in-class or after-school theater workshops and camps to transform students into confident, expressive performers and citizens through poetry and the wit of Shakespeare. So a bit about this project that we're bringing before you today. We are proposing that we bring our program into schools. This program will provide fun and essential theater education for students K through 12 by sending 2 professional theater artists into the schools to provide hour-long in-class educational workshops and a week-long camp. The camp will culminate at the end of the week in a 10 to 15-minute free performance in a Meridian Park of a Shakespeare play. In doing so, BBP would handle any and all correspondence and outreach between our company and with the school and the entirety of all administrative tasks. The when, the how, the why, we would be tackling that.
The goal of this is that we will teach these students fundamental Shakespearean acting technique, foundational acting technique. All of this will funnel into these crucial life skills. We do this in 4 ways. The first is by mastering Shakespeare's language. Students will break down Shakespeare's text, making it clear to them, but also making it natural and engaging, which helps with their communication skills and their public speaking skills. The second way is through acting and performance. From movement to vocal projection, students will learn foundational acting techniques that they can use to be more authentically themselves. The third way is theater production experience. This is the hands-on learning part of this, where they will learn staging, blocking, character development, and they're going to learn how to collaborate in a constructive and respectful way. The fourth is teamwork and collaboration. Theater is a group effort. We like to say it's a team sport. Students will learn to trust their fellow actors and build an ensemble, working together towards a common goal. More about this project is that we teach a lot of Shakespeare techniques, such as warming up the voice and the body, breaking down monologues and scenes for clarity, using iambic pentameter to understand the rhythm and the poetry of Shakespeare's plays. We want to We want to craft specific characters and discuss a story structure and other variety of performance-based techniques. The workshops are going to teach the students these techniques through interactive games and fun activities, as well as practicing pre-selected monologues and scenes. The camps will expand upon these techniques, and we will do daily games, exercises, and then the rehearsal of our 10 to 15-minute play.
And so the goals of this proposal are as follows. Our first goal is to provide students with a basic foundation to perform Shakespeare's language and to further develop their public speaking and their communication abilities. The second goal would be to equip students with the tools and techniques to put on a 10 to 15-minute performance and to deepen their collaborative and their teamwork abilities. The third goal is to give young artists a space to explore creatively as well as to foster individuality and to foster personal confidence. And so at this time, we'd like to talk about our team. 2 of our education team are here today. Again, my name is Trisberg. I am the artistic director of the Boise Bard Players. I've also been acting professionally for the last 10 years and working as a professional theatrical educator for the last 8.5. I specialize in Shakespearean acting technique and in teaching classical theater technique. I've been teaching for the last 6 years with the Idaho Shakespeare Festival, but I've also taught with Boise Contemporary Theater, with the Missoula Children's Theater, and with Idaho State University.
Again, my name is Sam Murphy. I'm the managing director. I've been a professional actor for the last 10 years, but I've been teaching for the last 9. My specialization in my education is within acting and directing, and I've taught primarily with the Idaho Shakespeare Festival and the Starlight Mountain Theater.
And the third member of our team, Dakota Brown, who is a founding company member of the Boise Bard Players and also our education director. He is not with us here today because he is off performing with the Idaho Shakespeare Festival and with the Lake Tahoe Shakespeare Festival. But he has been a professional actor for the last 16 years, a professional educator for the last 15. He is the former education associate with the Idaho Shakespeare Festival. He specializes in teaching acting and directing. and he has taught with the Idaho Shakespeare Festival, Northwest Children's Theater, and the Hall International Academy. So, our intended impact with this project. The first area of impact, of course, is the students, and maybe the most important area of impact for us. Through this project, through our 8 to 10 workshops and our 1 to 2 camps, we aim to reach over 200 Meridian students by going to at least 10 Meridian schools. For these students, we hope to instill in them a personal sense of accomplishment, a contemporary connection to classical literature and a classical art form, as well as to cultivate valuable life skills in addition to the theatrical abilities we would be teaching them. Our next area of impact is the community. As mentioned before, our camp would culminate in a free public performance at a Meridian Park by Meridian students, allowing the community to come and witness the artistic growth of these young artists. This will feed into enhancing the Meridian's art ecosystem. We also believe that this is an opportunity for us to provide multi-generational community connection. We hope that the folks that come to see these shows are going to be their grandparents, their parents, their neighbors, their cousins, folks of all sorts of generations connecting through theater. There's also the opportunity for these students to share in these stories that so many of us know. Many of us grew up reading Romeo and Juliet in school, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Hamlet, and so forth. This provides an opportunity for many generations to connect with one another across these pieces of art that are older than any of us. And our last area of impact, of course, is accessibility. All of our educators are trained to adapt our curriculum on the fly to meet the support needs of our students where they are at. We are all trained to accommodate any sort of disability, be that mental, physical, or any other sort of thing that may require some sort of accommodation. Another way we hope to make this accessible through the funding that you guys would provide here at the Meridian Arts Commission is to make this free to the students, to the schools, and to their families, which would eliminate any sort of cost barrier for any students that maybe come from a low-income family and wouldn't be able to have these opportunities otherwise. The last way we hope to make this accessible is to provide this opportunity in school. Often there are students, if they have to perform in these opportunities outside of the school, they have other things going on in their life and they may not be able to attend. But by going into the schools and into the classrooms, we hope to provide a greater opportunity for a wider array of participation.
Thank you so much for your time and for listening for our proposal. If you have any questions for us, we are super happy to answer them now.
I do.
Absolutely. Right now, at this time, our idea would be to spend October and November kind of focusing on mobilizing this program. During that time, we would look into specifically what schools we would like to go to. We would love to go to a wide array of schools and potentially go into schools that might be from more low-income families to provide opportunities that may not exist in their day-to-day curriculum. As far as age groups, we are prepared to adjust our curriculum anywhere from kindergarten all the way up through senior year of high school.
Do you already have school interests?
At this moment in time, we do not have any schools that are actively interested. There are a few homeschool programs through our Shakespeare Live, but that's a different thing, if that makes sense.
As this last slide shows here, we have gone to past schools with these workshops before. These thank you cards that are in this slide are actually from Sage International, from when our education director, Dakota Brown, and our former artistic director, Chris Canfield, went in to teach a bunch of workshops for them. So at this time, we don't have any education camps or workshops lined up, but we are at the beginning of the year where we're hoping to start getting that ball rolling.
Would there be an opportunity for the students who participate in these courses to advance possibly into the Idaho Shakespeare Festival and further learning as well?
Absolutely. The way that this would work in our mind's eye is that this would be like the very basics of the techniques that they would need to know. So if they wanted to then go to the Idaho Shakespeare Festival, then they would be able to dive in even deeper with all of these concepts.
And of course, the two of us do teach camps every year with the Idaho Shakespeare Festival, and we work as professional actors for both the festival and for the Boise Bard Players. Any students that would be interested in expanding beyond this, whether that be on the performance side of things or further education, we would be more than happy to provide them with materials for that.
Sorry. What prompted you guys to pick Meridian and Meridian schools? And did you have any conversations planning this program with teachers at those schools?
What prompted us to choose Meridian is the Boise Bar Players are largely based out of Boise, and with our experience personally teaching with the Idaho Shakespeare Festival, we know that Boise schools have ample opportunities for these theatrical programs, but a lot of the theater companies in Boise are not reaching out to Meridian schools. And we think that as a company, we want to expand our educational outreach to the whole of the Treasure Valley. So we saw, from our opinion, a need within Meridian that wasn't being fulfilled by other theater companies. But we have not actually had any conversations about this program in particular with any Meridian schools at this time.
So when do you think is that going to be, do you have a timetable of when you're going to start that and carry it through?
Absolutely. Yeah, our goal would be for October and November to spend that time reaching out to schools, talking about potential curriculum, timelines, what would work best for the students and for the schools, so that we could get rocking and rolling with workshops in December all the way through May. Our camps would be likely at the end of the year in May because that performance would be outside and we'd want it to be warm for the kiddos. Yeah.
Just as a former theater professional, best idea I've heard in a long time.
Thank you.
So have you worked with Boise Public Schools? Have they received you well?
And Sean, just a note, I think you might have more than one device that's signed in and it's causing a lot of echo on our side. So if you have one that's working with sound, maybe you could turn the other one off.
Is that better? Can you still hear me?
Oh, much. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, I'm really sorry. My question was, have you worked in the past with Boise Public Schools? Have there been any problems with insurance or, that kind of red tape stuff?
To the extent of our knowledge, there has not been any red tape. We, the two of us, have specifically taught in a lot of Boise public schools. We've done a lot of workshops with them. They've been in the same capacity of they're usually an hour long, and we come in and we just say, hey, here's what we do. Let's just like hang out, teach you some skills for an hour, and then we depart.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, I just wondered how much trouble, how much, sometimes there's roadblocks, and I wondered if you'd had to deal with any of those with the Boise schools. I can't imagine Meridian schools would be too much different. So what play do you usually have the kids work on? What's the 10 to 15-minute play they do?
Yeah, we typically try to pull from the hits for the 10 to 15-minute plays. So Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Macbeth, Hamlet, things of that nature. We have a wide variety of scripts at our availability that are 10 to 15 minutes that can accommodate anywhere from 10 to 20 students in those scripts. Our goal would be to reach out and get kind of a bead on what the students would be interested in and to try and pick from that small selection of the hits a play that would best suit the students. So if those students are really feeling like they want to do a tragedy and be dramatic, maybe we're going to do Hamlet. Or if they just want to be silly and crack some jokes, maybe we're looking at A Midsummer Night's Dream.
The other goal with this would be to reach out to teachers and see what they are actively working on within their curriculum to see if there's anything that we can then help to supplement what they're already working on in the classroom.
Well, that's a wonderful goal, especially for high schoolers, junior high and high schoolers. Yeah.
Do you guys have any testimonials from other teachers that you've worked with in other schools that we could look at or hear?
I do actively on my email, but not on me in this exact moment in time.
Okay.
Would there be a good place if we were to gather that in our emails to email that to you guys to take a look at? Would that be Cassandra? Great.
I was wondering if how this would fit into a school day. Would it be like a after school activity or would this be within class time? Because I know that would differ between elementary school, middle school, and high school, especially because of the the structures that are already in place.
Absolutely. Yeah, our goal is to provide it in school. That way we can maximize the amount of participation available. And that would be part of our efforts to coordinate, would be figuring out what class we could come into for an hour, what would be the most minimally disruptive way we could come into the class. We are capable of doing them after school. Our goal is to do them during school to try and minimize, having a teacher have to stay after school, finding a space, things of that nature.
I also have a question about the structure as well. I feel like the 10 in-class workshops that are an hour long, that's probably something that is totally manageable. For the performance camps, are you wanting to select different classes that haven't already done those 1 hour long ones? And then for doing that camp, are you thinking it's going to be like 1 hour long classroom every day for 4 or 5 days that week?
The goal would be, yes, to come in for an hour a day, just for 4 or 5 days. So that way it is the least disruptive to like their overall curriculum. But the goal of that would then be to make it as easy as we can for the students, if that makes sense.
I just had another idea. It might be, and this would be something to talk to Cassandra about, but with Spark in the Park, blah, 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 blah. But of maybe working up something that might work for that next summer.
Yeah, we actually, we will be at Art Spark this year. We are going to be there teaching a 20-minute workshop for youth. And we're really excited about it.
Yeah, thank you for this thorough, exciting presentation. We look forward to discussing this opportunity. I'm a fan of Shakespeare. I think it's going to be great for our community if all goes well.
Thank you.
No, on your screen.
Commissioners, please make sure you're speaking into the mic
Yep.
and it's working. Otherwise, our people online can't hear you.
At this time, this is the only place we have reached out to for funding for this specific project. And within that PDF proposal, there is a breakdown of where those funds estimated would go to.
Has the program traditionally been funded through the Shakespeare Festival or any other organizations?
Usually the way that this program works is that on our website, we have like specific detailed breakdown of the costs for it. And so that is a cost that the school would pay to us versus this would be a cost that would be free to the schools.
Okay, so I have another question then, because I took a look at your budget proposal as well, and just knowing that you guys have limited capacity, you're not going to be able to do all of the classrooms in the district. I could see that if you're doing 1 or 2 classes in one school, it's going to be very exciting and also sad for the other students. Are you planning to do this in future years to try and hit up some of those other classrooms, or is this kind of a pilot program, see how it goes?
Absolutely. This is kind of the first time Shakespeare Live has had an opportunity of this nature come our way. And so our goal would be to grow this. If this were to be something successful, Sam and myself have been co-teaching together for the last 6 years, and we would be more than happy to go to as many classrooms as we could. Was that for the marketing side of it specifically? Yeah, so that would be posters for the public performance and kind of just an estimation of miscellaneous marketing that would be happening through our company with our marketing director, Tiffany Eller.
Thank you.
Of course.
And do you guys presently get from funding from the Idaho Arts Commission?
I believe we have received some grants in the past. I am not sure if at this time we are currently funded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think this would be a program
Absolutely.
to go directly to them.
All right, if we don't have any other questions or comments, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We're looking forward, we'll have a discussion and we will be in touch with you guys with that. But thank you so much. We appreciate you guys coming and sharing that with us.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, Our next item of business is we need to do a recap of the Meridian Main Street Mix 2026 series. So we're going to turn it over to Cassandra for that update for us there on that.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, I wanted to give a quick recap, and this wasn't in the packet initially because we still had our very last concert yesterday. So completed this and sent this to you via email, but I'm going to share it on the screen too. We had, as you know, a series of 6 concerts in Generations Plaza. This summer has been pretty tough for events with the weather. As I'm sure you all have noticed, it's been rather smoky and hot the last few. So we did have to cancel one of the series, and I think that the smoke impacted some of them. I think we would have had better attendance if it had been a little less smoky for them. But despite that, people came out, and I view it as a big success. Some of the most successful things, the focus on original music. I did hear lots of comments from bands and community members thanking us for doing originals because there are not a lot of venues out there that are hiring original music. So that was great. And I feel like that's in line with what the Arts Commission wants to do. The venue is really great. It was really nice. There were kids playing in the fountain, lots of people sitting at the restaurants. And it felt very much like a very sweet downtown sort of vibe. There was a lot of foot traffic. I think every single concert, there must be a group of Pokemon Go players that walked by every Wednesday, sometimes multiple times. Let's see. And then just other people that were nearby sort of walking in. It was kind of interesting to watch. They would kind of stop and they'd like, oh, what is this? And they'd look at the sign and maybe they'd stop just for a couple songs. They weren't there for the whole thing, but would stop for a bit. So that was kind of fun to see that organic foot traffic. We also, the concerts on Broadway that we'd been doing definitely always needed 2 staff. And there was a lot more setup and tear down, but without having to bring vendors out and having them support the downtown businesses instead. Also didn't have to put out trash cans, or we didn't have a green room, which isn't as nice for the bands, but that was a lot of things to sort of manage. So I was able to do the series and manage the events by myself, which was great. And we had a really nice media piece, which I forwarded on to you all from Channel 6. That was great coverage. Here are a few, I did sort of an event breakdown for each of the events with a few pictures. So we had around 75 people for most of the events. And there was kind of a range of music styles, sort of from indie music to, I like the second band, Hill Folk Noir, they call themselves Junker Dash. And it was great. The woman plays like a washboard. That was fun. That one was originally scheduled to be a different band, so I did have to pivot a few days before the event, unfortunately. So I was really glad to get them. Fun fact: I actually had them play for my first wedding. 15 years ago, they played at my wedding. But they were great, kind of a bluegrass Depression era vibe. And then I would say the various lazy bands, that was a very hot day too. They had a little bit more of a jam rock band style. And that was the night that Calcanon came out with Channel 6 to cover. The July 29th one, as I said, was canceled. But I plan to give her first dibs on any of the dates for next year to bring her back, and asked her to play at the gallery reception on Tuesday. So we had some live music, just the singer, not the full band, which was really very sweet to have that. And then the Poverty Flats was definitely more like rock band, and we did have the most people there. That was the only one that I always carry around some earplugs. That one I did use the earplugs for. It was a little bit louder, and they're really good, and they did bring in more people, but I think for that venue and space might use less loud rock bands, unless anyone has any thoughts about that. And then the final one, and here's a nice picture of the audience. 92 degrees felt really cool after all the 97s and 100-degree days. Really talented musicians. And that's kind of a recap of the series. I know some of you came, so would love to hear any thoughts or feedback as we are thinking about next year. I am thinking that we want to do this again next year. I want to, they're at 5:30 to 7:30, so I want to shift the time just a little bit to 6 to 8 p.m. I think that would give people a little bit more time to get there. And also looking at doing every other week instead of 6 weeks in a row, so that can kind of stretch through the summer. I think that's it. I'll stop sharing and stand for questions, comments.
My first thought after attending one of the very hot ones, would there be a benefit to starting these in June to avoid some of the August does tend to be more smoky and air quality poor. It just started early this year, but is there thoughts to maybe we start earlier in June and do June and July to avoid that, or?
That is what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay.
I was also able to attend a few, and I would like to give a kudos to you for selecting such great bands. The ones that I was able to come to, I'd never heard of the bands before, and really enjoyed them. And I think everyone else kind of around, whether you dig hard rock or what was it, junk or whatever it was.
Junker Dash.
Yeah, I think there was something that everyone could really enjoy. I do really like the idea of pushing it into June. I think it did get a little hot and smoky for me for the last couple. So June and July would be great. And I do think that it would be a really great idea to do every other week as well. Just because people do go out of town and do different things, and it would, if you're only planning on doing 6, it would still spread it out over a few months.
Also maybe, if you're gonna book these ahead of time, maybe promote the names and the bands ahead of time on like the poster. People look forward to who's coming. But that's only if they get.
Yes, they were, I think they're on the poster and advertised since March.
Well, yeah, I was thinking more like, kind of like what you got here, like their photos and like a little kind of visual of who they are. And I'm just a visual guy, so I don't know. This stuff you see like at bars and concerts where you see all the different bands. I don't know. That's my point. And still carry maybe the Main Street mixed logos, smaller, but focus on the artists for marketing purposes.
Are you thinking on the poster itself, like a picture of the bands?
Yeah.
Okay. Kleiner Park did do it that way, actually.
Yes.
This may be, this just made me wonder with that presentation earlier, if it would work, or be a possibility of if their program were to come through, for those schools to be like an opening act for the bands, that might also draw more people.
Maybe. I don't know.
I know the series just ended yesterday. How has the feedback been from the businesses down there? Or have you got any from them as far as we've noticed an increase on these evenings and a lot more people coming? Because I know that was one of the thoughts to not doing it here, because they were saying they didn't feel an impact. So at least when I was down there, it seemed like there were lots of people, even at the restaurants. But I'm curious, have you gotten any feedback from any of the businesses in that area?
That is a great question. I haven't got any feedback yet. I do want to share the 2 restaurants are the ones with probably the greatest impact, and they were supposed to get their alcohol permit so that they could serve into the plaza, which they did for 2 of them. And despite several prompts, they didn't get their alcohol permits for all of the series. So in the future, that's another change. I will invite people to bring in their own alcohol, as we've done for some other events, so that if they want to serve, they can. And they wouldn't turn off their patio music, which is interesting. And one of the restaurants did also have a musician playing on the same Wednesday of two of the shows. So that's interesting. So I will try to communicate with them to see how they thought it went, and what they're thinking on their end and how we could improve some of those things for next year. So sorry, that was maybe a side tangent, but I do want to get feedback from the businesses. And I think depending on some of that feedback, that might shift how we want to do things next year.
Were the businesses involved at all did they promote it at all? The events as well?
Almost all of them put the posters up. And I don't know how much promotion they did on their end to their customer base. Las Calaveras, I did get them to put it on their events calendar, which was nice.
I was wondering if there would be any sort of incentive that we could get them to, maybe a discounted drinks or something like that to kind of bring more people in as well for their own audience, but, spill over into the park as well. I know that's probably hard to do with businesses and convince them to do that, but
I would love them to do that.
yeah.
I've gone to several of the downtown meetings and but yes, you can lead a horse to water.
Non-related question. How early do you accept, or how early do you start looking to book musicians and bands? And how does that process work?
January. And any band can apply if you go to the website, and it's actually the same form for Kleiner Park Live and the Main Street Mix. There's a form for performers and bands. Although sometimes some of the bands aren't quite the right fit. So I did a lot of research. I looked at several other venues to see and who's been playing recently, looked at all of their social media pages, and I'm definitely open to if anyone has band suggestions.
Was it, were the bands paid for the
Oh,
performances?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I was sad I didn't get to attend any of the concerts, but I wanted to.
The typical going rate as the wife of a musician also is $150 to $200 per band member is kind of like how much it costs for a band to. So if you have a 4-piece band, then that's $600 to $800. Certainly some bands charge more than that and some bands might charge less, but that's kind of the going rate.
Okay, well, thank you for that recap. It sounds like it was pretty successful for our first year doing this, and I definitely think this is something, I don't know, I personally attended the way we did it here and then the new way. I like the new way a lot better. And I hope that's a feedback. I don't know if anybody's.
Good, thank you. Thank you for that feedback, because I am, and we've definitely had some questions. Are concerts on Broadway happening? What's that? And honestly, there's been a lot less of those questions than I thought there would be. And someone wanted to attend, but when I told them what kind of music it was, and they were like, "Oh, I like the bands, that are playing like Michael Jackson." And so I did. My first really response was like, "Have you heard about Kleiner Park Live? Because if you liked concerts on Broadway, you'll like Kleiner Park Live probably." And lots of people hadn't heard about that, and were excited to attend those. So that was a pretty easy shift. Attendance wise, we don't have the same number of people that we've had for concerts on Broadway, which is, I think that's my main goal. Like, how can we increase attendance? But I've heard many times, it really takes 3 years to see what an event is going to look like. So it is the first year, and I hope to continue to try to do this, but we do probably want more attendance to keep doing these.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, we are going to move on to reports, and we're going to turn the time over to Lizzie Taylor for the Initial Point Gallery report. Lizzie.
I never get it right. I always appreciate all the help. Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll start again. Hi, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Current exhibit at Initial Point Gallery is With Water. It's lovely. If you haven't seen it, I hope that you can. you can read the names of all of the artists because I can't really read them with these glasses because they aren't quite right. Anyway, the reception was hosted by Aaron. How many did we have, Aaron?
We had a total of 38 attendees throughout the evening, and I will say that the majority of those folks stayed for 2 or more hours. There was live music, which was really nice. You said it was Emily that was playing, and there was also a poetry reading at 6 p.m. So the majority of people stayed through those things.
Thank you for that report. And the food was also just excellent. The upcoming exhibit is Elemental Vision, which is from the Boise Camera Club. And I would like to give you a little bit of background. A couple of years ago, I met one of the Boise Camera Club people at Idaho Art Gallery and talked him up about getting the Boise Camera Club interested in exhibiting at Initial Point Gallery. And we put that together and had a meeting here. I think I think you were part of it. It was like a year and a half ago. There were like 20 people from the Boise Camera Club, and they were all nervous and jerky about, we want to do this. And they applied and we selected them. So they're very, very, very happy to do that. I will be hosting that. Those evenings are very, very long for a person of my age. So I would like to get some help. I'm not really good at chairs and moving stuff and all like that. So looking beyond Brecken and Cassandra, maybe we could get somebody else to kind of fill in the gap because it's getting a little bit tough for me to stand up and be cheerful and joyful and funny and adorable for all that time. So jump in as you can. Okay. Cassandra, are we going to talk about the schedule? Brecken, are you going to talk about the schedule?
Yeah, I can talk about the schedule. I also want to just add, tack on to that, Lizzie, that we've talked to the Camera Club as well about doing a second event for their show during Art Week. So Art Week will be September 13th to the 19th. And we're thinking on Thursday, September 17th, this would be a lunchtime, noon hour event. And I talked to, her name is Frances. She's a very amazing, wonderful person. But she is contacting 3 artists from the Boise Camera Club to give 15-minute artist talks that day. So we're excited about that.
That's absolutely terrific. Brecken, thank you very much for taking the initiative to do that. I would be very, very happy to host the event, but as a introducer or a host rather than a chair schlepper, because I'm just not really good at that. So it would be nice to see if we could get somebody else to commit to doing that, get there, I would say probably 11:45, greet people, say hello, wear a badge, do all that good stuff. So again, you could either be in touch with Brecken or with me via email. That would be great. And are you going to talk about?
Yeah, and I printed off a official 2027 Initial Point Gallery schedule for y'all today. So that's our list, and I'm proud of it. That's the list, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, as you know, when you are selected to be a Meridian Arts Commissioner, you are requested. It's kind of standard tradition that you host at least one Initial Point Gallery show. I would like, because I'm selfish, I would like to host the December through the end of January show, Stay Golden, because I'm still kind of connected with Treasure Valley Artists Alliance. So I'll put myself down for that. But I would like to get commitments as quickly as you can so that I don't go more nuts than I already usually do for all the other exhibits. So if you want to do it now or email me or whatever, that would be great.
I can send the little sheet to,
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thank you all very, very much for your support for Initial Point Gallery. Through the many, many years that I've been involved in it, it's evolving. It's absolutely terrific. We're getting quality, we're getting quantity, and we're getting recognition. And I thank you for that.
Brecken, will you send me a copy of that?
Oh, yeah, of course, Sean. Yeah, I will email one to you for sure.
Mhm.
Thanks for the reminder.
Okay, and then Brecken, did you have more information on the Special Art Week event? Did you have anything else?
No, yeah, so it will be from 12 to 1. We are still working with Francis. This is still early stages of planning, but we just wanted to alert you guys to that and get a host, which Lizzie has kindly offered to do. But it will be art talks. So, yeah, and really, and these are really sort of, amazing, organized, very professional artists. I've been really impressed by them. So.
I'll just add very quickly to that. Boise Camera Club is not a fly-by-night organization. These people are extremely good photographers. A lot of them are nationally known. A lot of them are published. So this is not lightweight. Oh, I think cameras are cool. I mean, these guys, it's primarily gentlemen. They know what they're doing. They're serious about it, and I'm just really, really happy that they're going to be at IPG.
Thank you so much for that report and information. We have our event updates next, and our event updates Cassandra is going to give us on that.
Okay, well, first up, so another one to put on your calendar, it's coming up. It's the same week as Art Week, Wednesday, August 26th. We've got the Bear Creek Park. The Morrison Center is doing their first ever neighborhood concert series in Meridian at Bear Creek Park. So come if you can, and lots of you will be coming because we are presenting the Tammy DeVeert Awards. Brecken, you want to talk about that?
Yes, I can talk about that. Yeah, so yes, we have reached out to several of you, you know who you are, to come and present awards for that. So I think most of you have gotten back to me, and I appreciate about attendance, and I appreciate that. But I'm going to work on a script, so you'll have something to read. It's not scary. And then you'll hand over that do an introduction of the awardee, and then pass them their award, and we'll let them say a few words. And yeah, it'll just be short and nice, and everyone's really enthusiastic and grateful, and it's been really nice to communicate with them. And it seems like a lot of them are bringing all their family and friends, and they're really proud and excited. So it's going to be a great night. I encourage all of you to come.
So can we get the script a little bit earlier than the actual date of the?
Yeah, Sean, I will, yeah, I'm still working on that, but as soon as I have the finalized script, I'll send it over to you guys so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Wonderful. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And so I take it that all of the recipients have been notified. Okay.
Yep, and me and Cassandra have ordered trophies for them, and they're really cool.
I know at one point, Cassandra, we mentioned are we concerned at all about air quality affecting this event and the possibility of it being canceled, just seeing as how things have gone?
I have been concerned about
Okay.
every event this summer. So it seems like the air quality is getting better at this point, but if it, and the Morrison Center has canceled and rescheduled some of theirs. So, I mean, that's a possibility out there.
But that's they will make
That's
that
up to
call.
they'll make
That's
the
up to
call.
them. Yes. Okay.
And I do think they, just for your FYI, on Meridian's Parks and Recs, and if the air quality is between 100 and 150, we move forward. If it's between 150 and 200, it's up to the coordinator. At 200 is mandatory cancellation. I have noticed the Morrison Center is canceling some of theirs where we might not have canceled. So it's up to them. So
Okay. Well, we will hope for the best on that.
stay tuned. Hope for the best.
Okay. Oh, and Meridian Art Week and Art Drop.
Yes, well, backing up a little bit to Art Spark at Kleiner Park, which has been a huge focus of ours now and becoming only more so as we move forward. We have around 50 vendors, which is quite a few more than we've had before. We have main stage entertainment. We have, I think, like 8 different food trucks. We are also going to have some, in addition to what we've done before, there's a silent disco. There's a couple of installations. There's a wish upon a cloud. People will write a wish and then they'll attach it. We've got, what else do we have that's new? Oh, no. Yeah, we have a lot. So very excited about this year. I think the one thing I'm concerned about at the moment is we are very low on chalk art registrations. So in some of the things we printed off for you, there's a poster. It's also on social media. Anything that you can do to help us get people registered. The deadline for registration is on Thursday,
August 20th.
Yes, Thursday, August 20th. There's 3 categories: youth, team, and adult. There are even more prizes this year they're sponsored by the Boise Co-op at the Village in Meridian. It's $100 for first place, $50 for second place, $25 for third place. So there's some incentive for people. So please help us get the word out and post the flyer if you can, if you have somewhere to post it.
Remind me what the theme is.
It's Spark Your Imagination.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like Cassandra said, I have extra flyers up here. We would really appreciate you guys' help in distributing. We have a couple places we were thinking about. Boys and Girls Club. We were thinking maybe some libraries. Aaron, if you could. But yeah, but come up to me afterwards and I can give you some and I can print more if you need more. So also, yeah, please, I just made an Instagram and Facebook post with the flyer as well today. So if you guys could share that, that'd be fabulous. If you want, I can send you also the digital copy of the flyer, if that's helpful to you. So thank you.
And thank you to everyone that will be there that signed up to volunteer and or to judge.
Okay, we have an update on our public art projects. Cassandra, I'm going to turn it back over to you again for that update.
Okay, so public art master plan. We have the plan all designed. It is on the city council agenda for Tuesday next week. So if you go to the city council agenda, which I will follow up after this meeting in an email to you all, so you can look at the agenda item. If you are available, I think it would be a nice show of support for some commissioners to come to that city council meeting. Meredith will be presenting, and they won't be voting to approve the plan at that meeting. That'll come as a resolution at a future one. So they'll be hearing a presentation and probably have some questions. But that's where we're at with the plan. Very exciting.
Did you say next Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday the 18th, 4:30. Right here. Community center public art. Does anyone have any questions about the plan? Sorry. No. Okay. Community center public art projects. Emily is working on agreements. Have some drafts of those. I just presented them actually to the Parks and Rec Commission too. One note on those, they are technically public record, but I would prefer and have asked all the artists, please don't share them publicly or widely because we want them to be a surprise when the community center opens. But very excited about those. And moving forward, they should be installed at the opening. The community center is still anticipated and on track. If you go out to Settlers Park, there's a bunch of construction happening. There's structures out there. Opening October 1, 2027. Portable Works Collection Awards. So we, all those contracts are executed. They're currently at the finer frames at the frame shop to get security hardware on the back, and we're reframing one of them. The frame wasn't quite up to what we would like, so they will be installed. We're planning on the Julie Clemens piece that's the sort of in a park setting. We want to put on the second floor next to Parks and Rec. And there's a lot of people in our department that really like that one. And then the other two we're planning for the third floor, the Anne Sorensen piece across from the water fountain and the other, like the kids piece. And then the Pamela Trail one next to the sailboat up there. So we'll see those in a few months. And what's next? West Data School District traffic boxes. Those are ready for install, just waiting on the company to install those. And then Linda Road median sculptures, so that the construction on that has been awarded to someone that's doing the landscaping. So I'll need to touch base with them, but that's planned for fall 2027. So like a year from now, still a little bit of ways out, but those are on track. And I think that's all the public art project updates. Any questions?
Okay. If we don't have any questions, our next meeting will be September 10th. Please put that on your calendars. Are we doing an art drop activity?
So like to ask the commission, I think we'll have our regular meeting. I don't anticipate much on the agenda, but would the commission like to, as part of the meeting, we could have the meeting and then move over into meeting rooms to make something for the art drop to seed that? Does anyone, I'm kind of looking over there at Commissioner Paulson, who's helped us with a lot of small projects. Are we interested in doing that for the art drop? So Art Week this year, September 13th through 19th. So the next meeting's kind of just before the art drop. And we're really going to highlight and push the art drop as the highlight of Art Week, which has been, that part of Art Week has not been as much of a focus and we didn't see as much participation. So we want to get people to drop those pieces around town.
We can brainstorm something, I'm sure.
Okay. So
Okay, so
maybe we can
everybody-
plan on a half meeting in regular business and then do a little workshop to make something to seed the art drop.
Sounds great. Thanks, Crystal. Okay, we need to adjourn. Would anyone motion to adjourn, please?
Madam Chair, so moved.
Thank you. Lizzie motions to adjourn. Do I have someone to second that?
I second.
Thank you, Jay. Jay seconds. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you all for attending. Our meeting is adjourned.